Senator McCain, when you announced last week, you took a couple shots at incompetence in government. You talked about you wouldn't put up with having police and fire radios on different frequencies, and I somehow got the idea you were talking about New York City.
No, I was talking about the fact that the special interests have kept the spectrum which the American people are supposed to have and our first responders are supposed to have. We gave the broadcasters high-definition television. In return, they were supposed to give us spectrum that was going to be reserved for the first responders. Again, the special interest influence prevailed over the public's interest. On the issue of why we lost the election in 2006 is because we did lose our way. We began to value principle over power, and spending got out of control. Spending lurched completely out of control. Ronald Reagan used to say we spend money like a drunken sailor. I never knew a sailor drunk or sober with the imagination of the Congress. And by the way, I received an email recently from a guy who said, as a former drunken sailor, I resent being compared to members of Congress.
It's time now for another round of interactive questions. We're going to go to Jim Vanhey right now.
I thought I had a yellow light there.
It's red now.
The first pork barrel.
I'm sorry.
The first pork barrel bill that crosses my desk, I'm going to veto it and make the authors of those pork barrel items famous all over America. We're going to stop it.
Sorry, Senator. Jim Vanhey.
Thanks, Chris. This is actually a great follow to that, Senator McCain. Chris Harris from Manhattan, Kansas, is very concerned about the budget and about deficits. He wants to know, what specific programs would you cut if you were president?
Line item veto is the best tool. President Reagan sought it, and we need it very badly. There are a whole variety of programs that need to be cut, and I would start in cleaning up defense acquisition. The cost overruns associated with the purchase of our weapon systems is completely out of control. There's a $160 million destroyer combat ship that is now $400 million. We've got to get that under control first. Let's stop the pork barrel spending, then we'll go at programs. Each one of them must justify their existence every year. They will lay out their goals, and then they will have to meet those goals, or they will go out of business.
Thank you, sir. Governor Huckabee, a Politico.com reader wants a letter grade. He wants to know, A through F, how would you rate the Bush administration's handling of the Iraq War?
I think it's too early to give them the grade. You don't give a student a grade in the middle of the exam. We're still in the middle of the exam. Let's wait and see how it turns out. Then we can give the president a grade.
But a teacher will usually give you a heads up maybe midway through that semester.
My teachers never did. I don't know where you went to school, but in Arkansas, we didn't get a grade until it was over, and usually we didn't want to take it home.
Governor Romney, you said that being a pro-life president entails more than just appointing strict constructionist judges. A Politico.com reader wants to know what you meant by that and whether that was directed specifically at Mayor Giuliani.
It's directed at anybody who's not pro-life. And I have had the opportunity of serving as a governor and finding that while the courts are making decisions that affected abortion, it's really upon the legislature and the governor to have an impact as well. And so you can fight, for instance, to make sure that partial birth abortion is made illegal. You can fight to have information given to women who are thinking about having an abortion. You can fight to make sure that there's opportunities for people to express their views on this topic openly and near abortion clinics. You can fight for the opportunity to go out and campaign for the rights of those that care about this issue to be heard before Election Day, and the McCain-Feingold law prevents that from happening.
Let me ask Mayor Giuliani, do you want to respond to this? Because it seems like across the room here, this strong, unrelenting, with the exception of Governor Gilmore, an unrelenting pro-life position. You seem to have a nuanced position on this. Many people think you're pro-choice. Could you define it in a couple of seconds?
Sure. This is a very, very difficult issue of conscience for many, many people. In my case, I hate abortion. I would encourage someone to not take that option. When I was mayor of New York City, I encouraged adoptions. Adoptions went up 65–70%. Abortions went down 16%. But ultimately, since it is an issue of conscience, I would respect a woman's right to make a different choice. I support the ban on partial birth abortion. I support the Hyde Amendment. But ultimately, I think when you come down to that choice, you have to respect a woman's right to make that choice differently than my conscience. And I'd like to respond on spending.
Okay, later. We'll have to kill you now.